Alright, so how Vrchat camera works? Let me explain. First of all, press the menu button. Will be B on the index controls. You will have your main menu. You go to the camera section over here. You will have few options. Example, in the case of view, I use Steadicam. So if I take Steadicam off, you will see the difference on the view. But if I make Steadicam, the view is more wide and more smooth. That's what I use a lot. Then we have pretty much two cameras that we're gonna be going through. We have a stream camera, and then we have a photo camera. With photo camera, it pretty much appears as camera in front of you, and pretty much you have all the settings what you're gonna be able to use and stuff. But in the case of a stream camera, it will take the view of your game view. So right now I have a camera on me. So I can just turn it around, example towards me. Of course I can do that with the itself with the photo camera, but stream camera is more for streaming and video self. So in this short film example, I used the stream camera mostly. So when we go more detailed, let me show you. I'm gonna, of course, in this case, use the photo camera to showcase the camera, because it's gonna be hard to do that on the stream camera because it will take the view. So right now I'm gonna use my own headset to view it. So what we have? We have, first of all, of course, X. That will be on the top left. That will basically take your camera off, if you want it off. Then we have exactly what you saw, a flip in the middle, that it will towards you, or it will be the other way around. The stream camera and photo camera are pretty much working exactly the same, but it depends of, is it gonna take from here or itself taking control of your view. That's the only difference between photo and stream camera. Then we have zoom. So we can go more far or more deeper. Then we have a reset. And you will see a reset line right here. So when I reset it, it will reset. Other things what we have here is example right here. We had a mode. So you have a photo mode. One camera, no blur. And in the case of none on any other settings. Let's go first of all the settings. So first of all, take a photo. That's easy enough. Or you can press your trigger to take a picture. You can grab pretty much the full camera. And similar goes with the stream camera too. You can hold it. You grab it and hold it. And with the other arm, you can example do the zoom. Or example do the flip. Then we have pretty much all the other settings what goes through. We have, of course, time. Five-second timer is the only thing what we pretty much have. Then pretty much the other settings. So we have a camera mode, and we have few of them. We have the stream, what we can change from here. We have the photo, that will come back here. We have a gallery user icon, that will pretty much be the gallery and the user icon in Vrchat itself. And multi-layer. This is a new thing what they added. Multi-layer basically takes, if you take a picture, it will take 3 layers, about mostly 2 layers, but 3. It will take the full picture of the background, the character, and everything. The second picture is basically only the character itself. So everything else around it is already cut out, is transparent. And then the last one is only the background itself. So you can separate those. So you don't need to anymore use, in the case, if you take pictures, you want to separate only the characters from the picture. You don't need to use Photoshop or something. It does it already. So that's handy. Then, with the other settings going around, we have a fly mode. So right now, if I have a fly mode on, I can use my joysticks to go forward, spin around, and then come forward towards me. And you will of course see the camera right there. I can spin around with it and go up and down, backwards, and move around. It's like a drone mode. That is really, really handy. I use this in the case of sometimes if you need to let's just say I would want to look a bigger upper thing for me. I can press the trigger and look up and down. So I can angle the camera. And now if I want a upper view, I can just go around and take a more upper view shots, example. I could able to just go up here and just be like, I wanna take a picture. So that is how the drone works. It's really handy. With the drone, there's of course other things what I have learned what you can do. With other settings of course involved. But let's take it off for now. Again, when we took it off, we will see the camera still above the main camera. And that is because it's now located in the world. We have 3 settings over here on the anchor. So we have default, local, and a world. So with the default, it will go back. With local, if we put it towards us, and we will do local, and we move around the world, it will follow us. This is many streamers what they use. They put a camera on towards them, and they just walk. Of course, in this case, we can grab the camera itself, and we can place it, let's just say, right here. And now I can just move around, and it will still follow me. If I turn around, it will follow me. Then we have the world. So let's just say that I want a nice shot. Let's just put it right there. And I will go on my camera settings to world. And I start backing off. It will stay on that spot where I left it. So you can pretty much do following default with your hand or put it around the world. So there's different anchors what you can do. Then we pretty much have behaviors. There's a smoothness that I will actually show you. So if we go a stream and I grab this, you will see how kind of shaky, not that smooth. If I walk around, if I, shake the camera, it's going all over the place. If I go my behavior and smoothness, you see the difference? It's so much more smoother. So in this case, this has been a huge help. What I use also on filming the short film to be able to get things smooth. Example on the last part, there's an example that the zoom camera was not on, and it can cause a lot of trouble in the case of editing and other things. So if you film things, make sure that you have smooth camera on. Then we have look at me. So if I do look at me, it will pretty much follow my head, my character's head and my movement. And in the case if we do now flying mode and we spin, it will basically do the drone movement. So we're flying around, but I have told the camera to follow my head only. So now we can get a really round up smooth zoom. And it's really handy for some kind of dramatic moments or maybe showcase of avatars or maybe even worlds. Of course, this has to be filmed in the case of yourself. You cannot do these settings or the anchor of behavior towards looking at somebody else. It will always, camera will only follow yourself. And then we have outer level. So if I want level up my view, I do outer level. So it will level up and keep the camera level lined up. It will not go left or right. So it's going to be leveled up. And then I can example do again. Little roundup. So right now I will have some smoothness, look at me, and auto level at the same time. So you will see right away that the smoothness and things will change. You can play around a lot with these settings in Vrchat, and it fully depends what are you filming and what you want to get out of it. And then there is basically a setting that if you want to, in the case of, for the camera, so we have the smooth, look at me, and auto level on the behavior. The last one is that trigger takes photos. So if you are using the stream camera and you still want to take photos, you can take photos at the same time when you use a press trigger. So that's pretty much the difference. So example from the anchor, we will do a default. So it will look at me. An example, smoothness. Other settings what we have, even after the behavior, is focus. We have a focus off, full auto, and it will appear this little dot on our screen. If we click the view, the camera screen, it will pretty much give us an opinion where we want to focus. So example, is it going to focus me? Or is it going to not out of focus or out of me? So there's different settings. There's semi-auto and the manual. With a manual, you can pretty much go here and change the settings itself. So you can go all the way and kind of see what works for you the best. Semi-auto is that I can anchor the thing and then I can choose that, all right, I want to get myself sharp, but my background would be blur because I don't want my background too much. We can put a stream mode so you will see it better. So with the zoom and blur, you can do a lot of things if you want more ambience towards some kind of videos. So I can make it more sharp on the background, I can make it more blur. And then we can have pretty much manual, that will be harder. You can do the background, the character. And then we have the semi-auto and off. So if I don't want any blur on my view. Then we have pins. And the pins are pretty interesting. I've been using them a little bit, but I did not use them on my end work. But I will still go them through, so if somebody is interested. So, after the focus, we have pins. I can pin 3 points on the world, and pretty much I can change between those viewpoints. So let's just say I want to film towards this teleport right here. I want to put a pin point for it. So what I will do, I will go anchors and I will do world. I will go to pin 2. And let's just say I want to get this fox over here on the rock. Looks nice. I will go to my anchor and do a world. And then with the pin 3, let's just say I just want to film myself under the sakura tree. Like this. So now example, if I go back in the camera mode to stream and I'm just, explaining certain things and stuff, I can pretty much go like, well, there's a fox around there, and there's this teleport I made. And you can come back to me. You can change between these points what you have made on the world. Of course, you can change back to pin 2 and go, put it somewhere else. Or in the case of grabbing the camera and changing the angle. This is one really useful thing if you want to use 3 camera angle technique. Of course, you have to change it yourself through the camera. But you can change between them. 1, 2, and 3. So it's pretty handy. But of course you need to use always remember that the settings what we will do for the pin 2 or pin 3 or 1 for the cameras, you need to select it, do your changes, and then select another camera. So those will shave. Another things what we have on the camera settings is mask. So total players will, oh no, take me off. So it will take the players off. So if I don't want any characters, me or others on the view, I just want to film the world, I can do that. I can grab the camera now and, I'm still filming myself, but there's nothing there. So it's pretty handy. So example, let's just say I do camera mode. Back to this. So right now the camera should see me, but it don't. But if we go back to the mask and we put the mask local players, it will see me again. The other players, removed players, is the other players. So example, I can take both of the players, myself or the players or other players and not myself. So you can choose that. Environment is that it will be transparent. Of course, in some cases you have to be kind of careful because, example, right now it looks like that my face would be transparent too. So in the case of the lights, what you have on the world, and your shaders, what you have on your avatar, will change this result. But you can do like this. But I have to say though, the picture with 3 frame thing is the best way of getting this kind of stuff. But in the case of video, of course, it's different. Then we have, for the people, green screen. So if you want to put something else or something else you had in mind down in the background, some animation you made or something, you can do that. You can film yourself with the green screen and then add stuff on the background. And then we have UE. And with the UE, it basically means my menu. All the UE, what is around, let's just say, nameplates, menu and stuff, it will show the menu in the camera. But if I take the UE off, you cannot see my menu anymore. So you can hide the UE really nicely when you're recording some stuff. Then we have the lens visibility. So we pretty much have the lens that we were talking about. This one right here. Let me get it actually. It's easier. Yeah. So we have a lens right there next to the camera right now. If we go to the lens, we can make it fully appear. So it will be bluish black right there. If we make it a ghost, it will look like that. It will be blue, you will see where it is, but it's kind of more invisibility. Or you can have it off, so you will see only this little dot, blue dot, going around. So yeah, that's how pretty much you can investigate and kind of do your own settings, what is the best for you and how you have want the things. Filters, well, everybody should of course know of these days know filter. Vrchat camera has those too. So if we go to the stream mode, if we go to the filters, I can add different effects for myself. So filters are for this. There's not much of these. I really hope Vrchat will hopefully make more of these. So there's few only. And then there's old. So if you're doing like an old film. But of course in the case of video editing, those are easier to do on the After Effects or anywhere else. But if you don't have things and stuff but you want filters, you can do them here. There's only a few options, but hopefully you do more. And then we come to pretty much our last 3 options. And what we have photo solution, what they added. So with the photo solution, you can have a HD, you can have 720, You can have 1080, 1440, 2160, and pretty much 4320. And comfort files, so config in the file. So in the case of, you can change kind of how good quality camera, like view, record, or in the case of photo you will take. In the case of 720 is reasonable for HD, but of course in the case of videos it's gonna be doing really good in the case of where it takes a lot of size from your PC in the case. But in the case of pictures, of course, increasing that quality not gonna hurt. If you take example group picture or something in the case, it will do a huge difference. Then we have two more. We have a lock. So example, right now when I put a lock on, I cannot crop my camera. If I take the lock off, I can crop it. Simple. Grid will pretty much show you lines on your camera if you want a golden line, and in the example if you want to kind of gesture and place things better in the case, kind of modify it and kind of see what would look good. It's just a tool in the case of helping. I have myself not used grid too much, but maybe in some point I will. But yeah, that would be pretty much the camera. There's different things with this camera, what you can do, and it has already a lot of things what you can, you know, take pictures with, or in the case of, let's do it this way. There we go. So in the case of, how do I say this? Vrchat camera is good. It gives you good tools of able to make smooth video. Of course, first of all, pictures are the first thing what we had. But in the case of video making, I noticed that example, the focus, if you want to really get to more deeper and focus things a little bit more, get it fancy, itself the blur is really good. But itself, the focus, the local, the world, the default anchor settings, the behavior, and the flying mode are really useful. We used to have other ways of how we used to take upper view shots and stuff over here in Vrchat, but they of course were not allowed anymore in the case, and that's why they added the flying mode for the camera. The only thing what I would still want to see in the future more from Vrchat camera is that they will increase the distance where you can go. Right now the distance is not that much, so you cannot go far, but I would like them to kind of fix that, and in the case update, not fixing but updating it, that we could able to go more faster and more far away with the camera. Kind of choose as what we want to film and how far away and that kind of stuff. If somebody wants to take a shot from really above high ground when somebody's driving a car or something in VR reality, then in a case you need to get yourself a plane. But with flying camera or the drone mode, you could able to do that, but you cannot go that up with the camera. So it's not much handy on that case. So I would like to see something like that. Otherwise, perfect tool. So yeah, that would be pretty much a Vrchat camera. If you have any questions, you can put comments below. And hopefully I will see you next time. Thank you for looking at this video. If you have any interesting other things from Vrchat or any kinds of avatars or world build, you can always ask me. Alright? Hopefully you enjoyed this and have a good day. Bye bye.